She doesn't remember your jawline. She doesn't remember your watch. But 3 months from now, she can walk past a stranger in a crowd, catch a hint of the scent you wear. And suddenly, she's thinking about you again. That's the power of a signature scent as a man, and most guys are either wasting it or copying everyone else. Here's the harsh truth. If you smell like every other dude in the room, you disappear. The guy she remembers is the one whose scent felt like him. Effortless, consistent, and impossible to pin down to just a brand name. Your signature scent is not that blue cologne from the mall. It's your personal scent fingerprint, how your skin, your lifestyle, and your fragrance choices mix into one atmosphere that walks in before you and lingers after you. So let's build that. And we're not starting at the bottle. We're starting with you. Ask yourself a simple question. If a woman had to describe you using only a smell, what would you want that to be? Clean and fresh, like you always have your life together. Dark and mysterious, like late-night conversations. Warm and approachable, like someone she feels safe around. Get that picture in your head, because everything from now on is about turning that idea into something she can actually smell. Before we go into specific scents, you need to understand what you're actually buying. Those confusing labels, EDT, EDP, parfum, they're not just marketing. They tell you how strong and how long a fragrance will last on your skin. Eau de toilette, EDT, is lighter, good for hot weather, close spaces, or if you're still learning and don't want to overpower anyone. Eau de parfum, EDP, is richer, longer lasting, and usually where a lot of men find their signature, enough presence to be noticed without suffocating the room. Parfum is heavy, dense, and can be amazing for winter nights or dates, but usually too much for everyday use. If you're building a signature scent, starting with an EDP is a smart move. It gives you character and longevity without screaming. Next, think of scent like music with 3 parts: the opening, the chorus, and the echo. When you first spray a fragrance, you get the top notes, usually bright, fresh, or sharp. Citrus, herbs, maybe a bit of spice. That's the hook that grabs attention in the first minute or two. Then, as it settles, the heart notes take over. Florals, spices, fruits, something with more warmth and personality. This is where people start thinking, oh, this is him. Finally, the base notes dry down over hours. Woods, amber, musk, leather, vanilla. That's the part she remembers when she gets home and can still smell you on her scarf or hoodie. Your signature scent lives in those heart and base notes, not in the initial blast. That's why smelling a strip in a store and buying immediately is a rookie mistake. On paper, you're only judging the top. On your skin, the fragrance changes. Your skin chemistry, how oily it is, your temperature, even your diet, can push certain notes forward and mute others. That's why the same cologne smells sexy on one guy and weird on another. When you test, spray 1 or 2 fragrances on your skin, walk around for an hour, and only then decide. You're not shopping for a first impression. You're shopping for the version of the scent that will be with you at hour 4. Now, let's talk about the 4 big, masculine scent families most men end up gravitating toward. This is where you start to align fragrance with your personality. First, fresh and citrus/aquatic. Think clean out of the shower energy. Lemon, bergamot, grapefruit, watery, or marine notes. This fits guys who are active, modern, and want to smell approachable and crisp. Office, daytime, gym, casual dates. If your vibe is put together, sharp, doesn't try too hard, this family is a strong candidate. Second, woody and aromatic. These are your sandalwood, cedar, vetiver, pine, herbs. They feel grounded, masculine, confident without being loud. This is for the man who wants to smell like reliability and calm strength. It works in almost any setting, especially if you're more introverted but want your presence felt quietly. Third, oriental/spicy. Warm, sensual notes, amber, cardamom, cinnamon, incense. These are deeper, often sweeter, and more seductive. Perfect for evening, dates, colder weather, and men who like a little drama. You walk past and people turn their heads. Fourth, leather, tobacco, and darker blends. Think smoky, boozy, mysterious. Not everyone can pull these off daily, but on the right guy, they're unforgettable, like the character in a movie you can't figure out, but you definitely want to. Here's the move. Pick one family as your core. That doesn't mean you'll never wear anything else, but your signature scent should sit in one lane so people can attach a clear feeling to you. He always smells clean and fresh. He always smells warm and woody. He always smells dark and cozy. Confusion doesn't create memory. Consistency does. But a true signature scent isn't just one bottle I wear forever. The secret most that guy men use is layering. They don't smell unique because they found a rare fragrance. They smell unique because they build a stack. Shower, skin, and cologne all working together. Think of it like getting dressed. You don't just put on a jacket. You pick underwear, shirt, pants, then jacket, so the whole outfit makes sense. Fragrance is the same. Your base layer is your soap or body wash. Use something unscented or lightly scented in the same vibe as your main scent family. A clean citrus wash if you go fresh, a mild woody or neutral wash if you go warm and woody. You don't want your shower gel fighting your cologne. Next, moisturize. This is underrated. Hydrated skin holds fragrance longer. Use an unscented or very lightly scented moisturizer on your torso and arms. This gives your scent something to cling to. Dry skin eats fragrance fast. Men with dry skin always complain their cologne doesn't last. The fix is boring but powerful. Lotion. Then, consider one more layer like an aftershave or scented deodorant that sits in the same lane as your main scent. For example, a sandalwood aftershave under a woody EDP, or a fresh, clean deodorant under a citrus fragrance. This builds depth. By the time you spray your main fragrance, your entire body is already speaking the same language. Now for the main event, your cologne or perfume. Apply intentionally. Don't do the spray and walk through the mist. Nonsense. Spray on pulse points, places where your body heat helps the scent project slowly. Classic spots, sides of the neck, not the front. One spray on the chest, maybe one on the back of the neck or inside your jacket. You're not trying to gas the elevator. You're trying to create an aura that becomes noticeable when someone steps into your space or hugs you. And this is crucial. Less is more. The goal is for a woman to think, he smells so good, not his cologne is so strong. You want her to associate it with you, not feel like she's trapped in a department store. One of the fastest ways to kill attraction is to overspray. If you're not sure, ask someone you trust to stand an arm's length away and tell you when they start smelling it. That's about the distance most people will experience you. Now here's where we really make it yours, building a small, fragrance wardrobe that still feels like one signature. You don't need 20 bottles. You need 3 that talk to each other. Bottle 1. Your daily driver. This is your core scent, probably an EDP from your chosen family. It works at work, on errands, casual hangouts. If someone thinks of your smell, it's this one. Bottle 2. Your evening/intimate version. Same family, but richer, deeper, maybe slightly sweeter or spicier. This is for dates, dinners, nights out, colder weather. When she leans in, this is the one that lives on her clothes afterward. Bottle 3. Your hot weather or gym-safe version. Lighter, fresher, less sweet. Maybe EDT instead of EDP. This keeps your identity consistent, but adjusts to the environment so you're not cloying in the heat. Because they all share a common DNA, woody, fresh, or warm, they form one recognizable you, just expressed differently depending on the situation. To her, it feels like your scent is always there, just shifting with the moment. Now let's talk about the actual science of why women remember scent so intensely. Smell goes straight to the parts of the brain that handle emotion and memory. It doesn't get processed logically first. That's why a random smell can hit you and suddenly you're back in your childhood kitchen or your ex's car. For women especially, studies have shown stronger odor memory and sensitivity. That means the way you smell isn't just nice or not nice, it can become a memory anchor. Every time she smells something similar, her brain quietly pulls up you. If you're inconsistent, one day you smell like laundry detergent, the next day like a bomb of random cologne, the next day like nothing, that memory never forms. When you're intentional and repeat the same signature, you're training her brain. First date, second date, hug goodbye, jacket she borrows, pillow you leave scent on. All of it stacks into one emotional file labeled with your name. That's exactly where you want to live. But here's something most guys don't think about. Your natural body odor matters too. Not BO, as in bad hygiene, but your clean, natural smell. Some elements of attraction are driven by how her brain responds to your underlying scent. That's why the same fragrance smells different depending on the man. So build your signature scent around your chemistry, not against it. How do you do that? Simple. Once you've narrowed down a fragrance you like, wear it consistently for a couple of weeks and pay attention to real-world feedback. Do people say, "That smells good," or "You smell good"? The second one is what you're aiming for. Also notice which notes stand out once it dries down. Does it go sweet on you, more woody, more powdery? If you find something goes weird on your skin, don't force it just because it's hyped. You're not trying to impress fragrance reviewers. You're trying to connect with real people in your life. Over time, you'll notice something subtle but powerful. People lean in when they talk to you. They comment more on how you smell. And yes, she remembers you long after the conversation is over. If you want, tell me your vibe, how you dress, where you spend most of your time, and the impression you want women to have of you. And I'll help you design a specific signature scent setup you can start using this week.